What is vaginal discharge? Is it normal? What are the different types of vaginal discharge and what do they mean? What can we do about it? For this video, I have not just gone through Ayurvedic scriptures but have discussed this at length with prominent gynecologists and Ayurvedic practitioners so that the authentic information reaches you. So without any further delay, let's get started. Hello friends, welcome to my Mezabin Naj fitness channel. Vaginal discharge is a clear or whitish fluid that comes out of vagina. Often, it leads to spotting of women undergarments, making them wet and discomforting. But is it normal? More than 75% women in a country experience vaginal discharge or leukorrhea. Modern science considered that as long as the vaginal discharge is transparent without any foul smell, it is normal. Ayurveda, on the contrary, is firm that the appearance of the general discharge is normal only if it occurs 1 or 2 days prior to the onset of menstruation or at the time of ovulation. A discharge occurring at any other time is absolutely not normal. In fact, it requires attention. This is because in such cases, a woman loses the vital fluid from the body, which, if ignored, can lead to body weakness. Though modern doctors might shun this off as a myth, but Ayurveda is firm that issues like back pain, headache, and other joint problems are bound to crop up. Hair starts falling, skin loses luster, irritability increases, immune system gets compromised, and in many cases, it weakens the uterus, leading to difficulty in conceiving. But what causes vaginal discharge at the first place? Not maintaining a proper hygiene down there is one of the major causes of vaginal discharge. Douching, use of tampons, and other such practices can compromise your vaginal hygiene. Certain medications, like the use of birth control pills, contains synthetic hormones which are now proven to instigate vaginal discharge. Then the problem of constipation or not being able to clear your bowels properly increases heat in the body, which triggers vaginal discharge. But what if the color is completely different to what your usual vaginal discharge is? So let's talk about the different types of vaginal discharge and what do they really mean. First is creamy white cottage cheese type discharge. If you have a thick white vaginal discharge, which might look like curd or even cottage cheese, this is most likely due to yeast infection down there. This generally happens when you are eating way too much sugary foods like chocolate or pastries. This generally happens to women who are on birth control pills and antibiotics. Next color that needs your attention is gray. This one is a distinct sign of a bacterial vaginosis, which is nothing but an imbalance of good and bad bacteria in the vagina. Douching, use of perfumed soaps, creams, and other products change the pH of the vagina, causing the overgrowth of certain type of a bacteria which can give this gray discharge. Another characteristic feature of this discharge is that it has a fishy smell. Include probiotic foods is a must in this condition. Next is brown. Generally, this type of discharge is a clear sign of irregular periods. The discharge often accompanies the residual blood from the previous cycle. It may or may not have a strong smell. Next is yellow or green. If your vaginal discharge is yellow or greenish, it is a sign of sexually transmitted infection. This could be due to unprotected sex. Some other symptoms include burning sensation while passing urine, bleeding in between the periods, soreness, and itching around the vagina. The smell of this type of vaginal discharge is foul. Red or pink. If your vaginal discharge is pink or tinged with red, it could be due to mixing of blood in it. This generally happens just before your period starts, or in certain cases, it could also indicate pregnancy, miscarriage, or even precancerous condition. Finally, let's talk about clear looking discharge. This can be thin, watery, or stretchy, even like an egg white consistency, depending on where you are on your menstrual cycle. If it has no odor and no associated symptoms, it is considered normal by modern science. Ayurveda holds that is vital fluid causes loss of a nutrients that would otherwise strengthen the bones, bone marrow, and shukradhatu. You will be amazed to know that Ayurveda has comprehensively talked about vaginal discharge and is referred to as Shweta Padara in the scriptures. Ayurveda is firm that women's health is sure to go downhill if vaginal discharge is irregular or excessive. In fact, there are some easy and effective remedies suggested to stop this problem at once. From the scriptures, I have selected three ways which are easy, practical, and effective. First, essential rice water. Rice, which is washed with water in a simple looking yet an extremely effective remedy to reduce vaginal discharge. All you need to do is take 10 grams of rice. You can use broken rice or even white rice. Prefer unpolished rice. Mix it with around 80 ml of water. It's better to use mud pot, but if you do not have it, glass or steel will also work. Cover it and let it sit for about 3 hours. Then macerate the rice well for a few seconds and then filter them out. The water left is called rice washed water, which not only is rich in antioxidants but is also an excellent coolant for the body that taps the root cause of vaginal discharge, which is excessive heat in the body. No wonder Ayurvedic practitioners swear by its effectiveness. Once made, rice water can be stored for 6 to 8 hours. You can make a bottle full of it and keep it sipping throughout the day. Just make sure that you keep the ratio of rice and water into 1 is to 8. Just drink rice washed water for 1 month and you will be amazed to see how quickly it reduces all the abnormalities related to vaginal discharge. Next is shisham leaves. The leaves of a rosewood, commonly known as shisham, is not only an effective remedy for excessive vaginal discharge, but in fact has been mentioned as a panacea for all disorders related to the vaginal tract. Shisham is a common tree in Asia, although its dried leaves powder is also easily available online. Use 8 to 10 fresh shisham leaves or simply mix 1 teaspoon of it in water. Drink this 30 minutes before breakfast. It's so effective in treating leukorrhea that our Ayurvedic practitioners call Ramban Aushadhi. And according to Ayurveda, avoiding certain foods is also critical. Red chilies, refined sugar, deep fried and aerated drinks are your worst enemies if you want to reduce vaginal discharge and bring hormones in place. To sum up, while modern science shuns problems associated with excessive vaginal discharge as a myth, Ayurveda is firm that vaginal discharge should be prevented as it makes a woman's body weak, deficient in vital nutrients, and can even pose risk during conception. Unhygienic private parts, the use of birth control pills, tight clothing, constipation, and eating excessively spicy and oily foods are the main causes behind this problem. Constipation and eating excessively spicy and oily foods are the main causes behind this problem. A simple way to maintain vaginal hygiene is to mix half teaspoon of fit curry powder in mug full of water and wash the vagina regularly using the water. Rice water, shisham leaves, and fitkari mixed water are the three natural Ayurvedic solutions that have the power to reduce the vaginal discharge in a month's time and bring hormones in check. Prevent excessive vaginal discharge and you will see your skin luster coming back. If you are benefited from this video, then do hit the like button. And if you are new to this video, then please do subscribe.